this is a Ruger SP101. It's a 357 Magnum. It comes with fixed sights and has this black ramp front sight and this stainless steel notch rear sight. What we're going to do is we're going to replace that front ramp sight with a tritium green dot front sight. I'll show you how to do it. First up, we're going to take a 1/16 inch punch and we're going to knock out this roll pin. This roll pin is what's holding that front sight in. Want to use a bench block, and this bench block's got a hole in it, and that hole is to capture that pin once it comes out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hammer, and you don't need a big hammer. I like these little tiny ones actually. This is a 2-ounce hammer by Vaughan, and for knocking out pins, that's about all you really need. You don't need a great big 16-ounce ball peen. So nice small tapping hammer. We got our bench block, a 1/16 inch punch. Let's go ahead and knock this pin out. All right, here is that roll pin, and what is just a split pin. And we're gonna don't lose this. This has to go back in. So we're gonna set this aside. We'll set this in our magnet tray, and now we're gonna remove that front sight. Okay, so what I've done is I've just taken just a regular electrical tape, and I'm just cushioning the jaws of my parallel jaw pliers. My Bernards, because I don't want to scratch up this front sight. You may want to save it, may want to put it back in someday, or you may want to use it for another project. So we're just going to grab that front sight, and it just pulls right out. And we can see that little hole where that roll pin was holding it in place. All right, so we have the front sight out. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at our new front sight. This is an XS brand sights. This is my first time using XS brand. We'll see how it goes. But you can see that green dot. Whoa, that thing is lit up. That's going to be our new front sight. So this is going to be put in place. And then we'll have to drill a new hole. Once that's in place, we'll use some red Loctite. We'll get that in place. And then we'll drill a new hole for that. So let's go ahead and get that set up. I don't know if you can see this, but this sight is made for both the Ruger SP101 and the Smith and Wesson J-Frame. So it's not an exact fit. There's a little bit of, you see, I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of movement in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it to where I want it. I'm going to clamp it in place, then I'm going to drill it. So there's a little bit of movement in there. It's not a very tight fit. So we're going to use some red Loctite. We're going to use that roll pin, and we'll get this thing snug and in place. All right, let's take a look at what I've done. I've just used my machinist clamp here, and I've padded my jaws with that electrical tape. I have the front sight exactly where I want it. I've got her clamped on. It's pretty snug, pretty solid. I'm going to put this whole thing in the padded vise, and then we'll go ahead and drill that out. Again, we're going to use a 1/16 inch drill bit to go ahead and drill that out. All right, so we've got the revolver in the padded jaw, and these are just leather jaws with some plywood. But it's going to be rock solid, rigid, so I can make a nice straight line. You're probably asking, hey John, why didn't you use the drill press? I thought by the time I made a jig to where I could hold this, I can just knock this out here with the hand drill. So I'm going to wear my optical enhancers and just go ahead and drill this out. So we got our hole drilled straight through. We came out both sides. Now we're going to take the sight out. I'm going to put some red Loctite in there. I'll clean it up, and then we'll put that roll pin in. All right, so we got her all Loctited up. What I did, I just took a cotton swab and some alcohol. I cleaned the surface of both areas, or both surface areas, before I hit it with the that red Loctite. And then I'm just going to tap in that roll pin. we should be good to go here. I'll set this on my bench block. My roll pin starter punch. There we go. And we'll go ahead and finish this off with a punch to set that. And there we are. How about that? We got that green dot, that tritium front sight. Put on our SP101. With a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, a couple of right tools, and we're all set.